he looks okay. Got woke up a little bit, but all in all, do look out for him in future. Put him on watches.
Yeah, he was recently gelded back at the start of June, so still young and being a USA bred, he is still a 3-year-old. Here is number 7, Happy Friday. Now he's drawn out wide this afternoon, Ray, and he has been getting back in his last few runs. Krishna Tangamani will take the steer for just the second time, 105 and 27.
Yeah, a little bit awkward barrel draw, but nonetheless he'll be somewhere in front. And the one thing good about it, takeaway, is that some of the horses right inside him will not have much speed. I'm surprised at $105. He's very competitive in 1200 meters. I think if you good form, I think I wouldn't mind putting him in one of a minor placing.
So looking for win number 6, the 6-year-old son of Ifraj. Moving over to number 9, War Warrior, visiting Hong Kong jockey Dylan Moe, takes a ride for Siti Kwa. $60 the win and 16 the place. Gets the blinkers back on.
Yes, get the blinkers on and a shadow roll on as well. There's very quiet, calm and collected, this War Warrior. Not much of him though, lightly frame type. His form in the Class 5 company was pretty average. In fact, you didn't see him much. Not much of speed in front, and you didn't see any turn of foot or whatsoever. Hopefully, Dylan will doing some good. But to be frank, if you have to put your trust on him, you have to put a lot of trust on him, rather, in fact.
He's only 2 points higher than his last victory back in April of this year, so maybe one to keep an eye on if he presses forward. 10 Valerie, the 3-year-old only filly in the field, and she's trained by Mahadi bin Tab, ridden by Geraldine Siao, but a big price at 193.
Yeah, understandable, although she's a bit on the bigger side. She looks okay, a bit eager here, trying to look at the back. I think she's a bit anxious, the horse right behind her. I don't see any role she can play in this field, 1200 meters. I think still it's pretty sharp for her. I'm happy to watch her here.
Heading back to the top of the race order, 2 Satria for S. Jamil, Stephen Gray, 68 and 20. Really caught the eye of powering home last start behind Fabu, but that was first up from a break, and stayers usually do perform well when fresh, Ray.
Yeah, when they freshen up, that was a very good performance from him. But we have all blended this Satria at more of a mile and a berth. Not sure how we perform second up. I'm happy to watch him here. I put him in my top 4 numbers, but there's no confidence whether he can win in this race. I think pretty nice ball.
Placed once from 3 goes second up, so he's going to be an interesting player, that's for sure. Race 1, Limbs Force, Matthew Kennedy and Dan Marr. And this is a mare that has 6 wins in the grade from 20 starts. 64 and 21. I think the money's going to come for her, Ray.
Yeah, very likely. And she has the class, for sure. Did pretty well in the Class 5 companies. And we know this Limb stable, when they will come down to winnable class, they will outshine the rest. She looks good in the paddock as well. Very calm and collected. She knows her way. I think for anyone that probably, I mean, you can for sure put him one of the top 4.
Number 4 is Pacific Charm. Michael Clements and Simon Cock get the inside alley for the 4-year-old son of Maurice. 49 and 11. Still just a one-time winner at this stage of his career.
Yeah, a big disappointment for this Pacific Charm. Used to have a lot of I think he took quite a fair bit of money early on in his career, but however did not deliver a couple of, in fact most of the time. He looks okay in the paddock. I don't mind him. He's just showing along pretty nicely. I have him in my numbers, but I don't have him in my numbers. I probably looks like he very much needs 1 or 2 runs to improve.
Number 5 is Southern Master, Richard Lim and Manuel Nunez. And he is your race favourite, 13-8, looking for his first win in Singapore. Ray, can today be today he cracks it?
Yeah, very likely. Very, as this is not the strongest race that he had recently. He was beaten a couple of times by a pretty strong galloper from We Can Do and Zygarde. Understandable, but he's in pretty nice form. Natural front runners with Manuel Nunez on board. Take quite a fair bit of boxes. He probably will race off pace behind maybe Happy Friday, or if the pace is too slow, he might just take up the lead. So rightfully the one to beat.
So we've still got a couple to take a look at. They will do their final lap in the parade ring before heading out of the tunnel. Let's move over to number 11, and that is River Dragon. Ray, for Jason Ong and Benny Woodworth. Jason Ong, I think, will be in for a big day.
Yes, very likely. This River Dragon has been slowly making his way up, and it wasn't that bad in the last few starts. He did show some ability, especially even in a Class 4 company, 1400 meters behind Diakau Band. That was a pretty nice performance. I don't have him in numbers, but I won't be surprised he ran a good race. A little bit edgy here. Didn't like it. Okay. Thanks goodness. Benny went on top. He looks okay as he went past me.
Number 12, Griffin, gets in on a lightweight. He's really worked his way down the ratings. He's dropped 10 points in the last 5 career starts, $342.
Yes, Griffin had done, if I didn't remember wrongly, he actually did pretty nicely in the Class 4 company. Of course, his form, he couldn't really sustain there, and slowly coming down to Class 5, and the rating had been slowly going down. Not the easiest horse to predict right now. I'm happy to watch him here. For me, I definitely want to see 1 or 2 races that he sort of stand up, but not for me today.
And our last runner will be number 6, Golden Dash, who's just waiting his time in the saddle installs, Ray, before getting into his number order and heading out, because he can get a little bit worked up, this 6-year-old Argentinian bred.
Yes.
And Bernardo Pinheiro is just about to get legged up, so we can chat about him, but we won't get him on screen as of yet until he's out walking. But because it's a nice lineup here, race number 1, Ray. It looks to be a pretty competitive betting race.
Yeah, because just now he was a little bit worked out as he went past the crowd. Some of the crowd was cheering on him, and he sort of like kicking at the back, and quite very I should say anxious as well. And one good they get him to the coming store, as you can see that Pinheiro now is on board of him. He looks okay since the rider went on top.
So here is Golden Dash now, Ray. What are your thoughts on him? 25-8. I've given him a top 4 push.
Oh, definitely. This Golden Dash he has been ultra competitive. I don't mind his performance a few starts, although he didn't really get a win here in recent time. But he's very competitive in terms of 1200 meters. He trained well in the morning and took quite a fair bit of boxes. Bernardo Pinheiro on board. I don't mind him. In fact, I do have him in my top 4 as well.
So that is our field for race number 1. Don't forget to drop us a line on our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube channel, and also the Twitter page at SG Turf Club, and put the hashtag SG Racing for any conversations or photos or videos you are sharing from the day here at the Singapore Turf Club. Runners making their way up the tunnel. We'll join you very shortly with our selections, a betting update ahead of race number 1 of 12 here on Sunday Afternoon Racing. in our first race on the poly track surface of the afternoon. My on-top selection for the first goes away of number 1, Lim's Force, who gets back to Class 5, and lately in the last sort of 2 years, whenever she gets to this grade, she very rarely misses. I believe 3 of her last 4 appearances when dropping, she's actually been successful in scoring. She's got a great record in the grade, 6 wins from 20 starts. She seems to go well at the 1200 and didn't claim off her this time, but if you go back and have a look at her last win back in April, Mark Lerner carried the 58 where she beat Smoke and Mirrors on that occasion. So I don't think the 59 with Matthew Kelledy is too much of a concern. She's a big price though, 68 and 18. Haven't seen any moves in the market as of yet, so that's a bit of an interesting watch with that. 5 Southern Master in for second, who is your standalone favourite at $13. Hasn't won in 12 attempts so far here in Singapore, but with Nunez on from barrier 2, should look to get the best run of the race, and he is going to take some beating. But I just wanted to go with a horse that had a bit more experience in the grade. 6 Golden Dash in for third. I think if he brings his A game here from barrier number 3, Bernardo Pinheiro can just try and give him a nice cosy run and just try and cuddle him up until the last little bit. But he's looking to get his first win in just over a year, 378 days. And I'll go number 9, War Warrior, to round out my top 4 with the blinkers on and the visors coming off. 1, 5, 6 and 9, Lim's Force to beat Southern Master, Golden Dash and War Warrior, as we get the thoughts from Raymond Yong on race 1.
Thanks, Scott, for this race number 1. I think a lot of punters have been adopting this wait-and-see attitude for a quartet, still at $6,000, but as I can say, this is can be pretty competitive. I think there are at least half of the field will be pretty competitive. I'm good for number 1, Southern Master, mainly because he's in very good form. He trained well in the morning. He got a champion jockey on board. Given this barrel draw, he will save a lot of ground. And the man will definitely know how to conserve the energy right in the front to get him on strongly with trying to find cover. I think, and from number 7, Happy Friday, I think he will be probably trying to find cover from Happy Friday with such a natural, speedy front runner. He's very competitive in 1200 meters. I don't mind his last 2 starts. He was being inconvenient. Even the 3 starts ago where he was behind the June, he lost his, I would say, the issues, and yeah, he trained well. I think he's among the bench, the lot that he's been he's one of the few that been training very well in the morning. So Happy Friday for me as well. And from number 6, Golden Dash, a little bit worked up in the paddock, but he is very competitive in terms of 1200 meters. As I said, don't mind his last 2 starts. In fact, he's been very competitive behind some of a very strong galloper. So Golden Dash, I won't be surprised he will be able to win this race. From number 2, Satria, I think very much the collection was thinking of perhaps reverse engineering things in other ways, that maybe this horse can probably handle 1200. Maybe he went too early to a 1600 earlier on his career, so dropping in the distance might do him some good. He looks like a pretty nice type in the paddock as well. So my number is 5, 7, 6 and 2.
Favourites holding strong at $12 here, Southern Master Ray, but we're starting to see a bit of a push for number 6, Golden Dash. He's been 26 into $21. Yes.
I think punters start to see that he was a little bit worked out just out in the paddock when he went to the front of the crowd, but he's very capable in terms of 1200 meters. Even don't mind his performance recently. He wasn't too far back from some of the galloper, as I mentioned. And with this barrel draw, I think same style running with Southern Master. He probably will try to find companionship with Southern Master and try to run on strongly. And he had handled the weight before in pretty nice form recently. So Golden Dash will be one of the strong contender coming in this race. Now it's at $22 at the moment. Right, our horses are loading in, and we have upstairs to you, Scott, for the race call of race number 1, Class 5, Division 1, 1200 meters.
Thank you, Ray. Field of 12 coming up in really good order. Fast and Fearless takes his place. Very competitive affair to start the day. Looking forward to race 2, the Restricted Maiden. Plenty of form coming into that event. War Warrior goes forward for Dylan Moe as the breeze just picks up. It's a bit of a headwind too as they make that run into the home turn, so See if jockeys will try and do their best to get cover. Satria comes forward, and that'll leave 2 to complete the line, including Pacific Charm and Griffin. The son of Maurice, Pacific Charm, goes forward. Simon Cock drawn the 1. Not many big moves in the market. Favourite's going to go off number 5, Southern Master. Set to go, flags up at the back. I think 1 just moving around in the middle. They seem all right now. Starter releases them, and we're off and racing. A line of 6 looking for the scrimmage early. Limbs Force nice and prominent, and being driven along is Griffin to hold a lead with War Warrior. Driving up on the inside fence now, your favourite Southern Master will sit back in 3rd on the fence. River Dragon is in 5th, 1 off. Out wide, Satria trucking for more rain. And then getting back to Golden Dash midfield. Fast and Fearless, Laszlos on the inside rail. To half a length to his outside, Happy Friday. Pacific Charms got back to 2nd last. And Valerie the filly will see them all. 424.34 as they start to head to the 600 metre mark. And there's about 10 lengths covering the field. It's War Warrior for Dylan Moe, who's found the front. Southern Master gets a drop in 2nd. Limbs Force has been forced to cover wide throughout. Satria just behind her. River Dragon looks to have put up the white flag. Southern Master is peeling off around their heels now. And then we get back to the inside. Golden Dash, Laszlos. Fast and Fearless is the widest runner, but he's still got about 5 to make up. It's still War Warrior on the inside fence, giving chase. Satria 2nd up. Southern Master can't seem to pick him up. Satria on the outside looks to be getting the better, and Young Jamil riding with plenty of vigour, and Satria will go on and win the first over War Warrior. Running on was River Dragon for a photo with Laszlos. Southern Master just couldn't quite go with him in the last 300 metres. And then we get back to Pacific Charm, Limbs Force, Fast and Fearless on the inside fence. There was Golden Dash, who never really looked a danger. Griffin, and towards the tail, Happy Friday. Never a spent force at the back there. Satria will score at decent odds of $54.18 the place. And a nice patient ride here from S. Jamil, which I think was the right way, just to try and get cover and just have 1 crack at him at the finish. And that's his first win 2nd up in his career. He really put the riding on the wall last start with a nice 2nd placing behind Fabu. And he's come out with a really nice performance. That's his first win at 1,200 metres from 3 starts. As we know, his last win came at 1,700. So well done to the Dago stable. Prominent owners here for so long here in Singapore with Stephen Gray. They don't have as many now as what they used to have, Raymond Yong, but an apprentice is on the board, and well done to Stephen Gray and the team. Yeah, very well done for Jamel. Despite the barrel draw, he tried to find cover. Unfortunately, he was caught 3 wide, but he found cover behind this Limbs Force and travelled pretty nicely, get him to relax. And as I mentioned, I think the connection might, strategically, my thinking that he was a miler and above, and went to the 1,600 meters early on in his career too quickly, maybe. And the last 2 starts was pretty exciting for us. And winning his first time in the 1,200 meters, I said I won't be surprised. He travelled about 3 wides, and that was a very nice moment that when Jamel asked for him, he flew home strongly. A good ride by Jamel. They've run a pretty slick time here, 1:12.01. That's nearly a full second inside of standard time, Ray. So it is very dry out here today, very warm. So we might see some quick times on the polytrack surface. We might with this dry weather. The surface could be pretty hard, hence. Although it might not be that good for the horse's feet, but you will probably clock some pretty quick time. Which I know that when you got something hard to grip on, it tends to travel pretty nicely. I thought War Warrior looked the winner there for a long time. He had the break, but look, he carried 57 kilos, and the winner's gone around with 54.5. So that claim for young S. Jamil was probably the winning formula at the end. Yeah, I was surprised that War Warrior went to the front. As you have seen his performance, he didn't have a really quick sectional time in front this time around. I think the workout, the deal workout, as he won in that win in the Class 5 company as he went to the front. Yeah, if he continued that, I think one day we'll see him winning 1,200 meters pretty soon. Yeah, he did. He jumped and led last win back in April. So I wasn't too surprised by the tactics. I did say when we were in the parade ring, if he jumps and goes forward, he might just sort of make his presence felt. He is a much better horse when he can lead. But full credit to Satria, the 6-year-old son of Reliable Man out of the New Zealand bred mare Auspicious. That's win number 3 at start number 24 here in Singapore, as a couple of the members of the public get up and give the thumbs up to the winning rider, Estramil. 2, 9, 11 and 3. Let's go back and take a look at the replay of race number 1. They seem all right now. Starter releases them, and we're off and racing. A line of 6 looking for the scrimmage early. Limbs Force nice and prominent, and being driven along is Griffin to hold a lead with War Warrior. Driving up on the inside fence now, your favourite Southern Master will sit back in 3rd on the fence. River Dragon is in 5th, one off. Out wide, Satria trucking for more rain. And then getting back to Golden Dash midfield. Fast and Fearless, Laszlos on the inside rail. To half a length to his outside, Happy Friday. Pacific Charms got back to 2nd last. And Valerie the filly will see them all. 424.34 as they start to head to the 600 metre mark. And there's about 10 lengths covering the field. It's War Warrior for Dylan Moe, who's found the front. Southern Master gets a drop in 2nd. Limbs Force has been forced to cover wide throughout. Satria just behind her. River Dragon looks to have put up the white flag. Southern Master is peeling off around their heels now. And then we get back to the inside. Golden Dash, Laszlos, Fast and Fearless is the widest runner, but he's still got about 5 to make up. It's still War Warrior on the inside fence, giving chase. Satria 2nd up. Southern Master can't seem to pick him up. Satria on the outside looks to be getting the better, and Young Jamil riding with plenty of vigour, and Satria will go on and win the first over War Warrior. Running on was River Dragon for a photo with Laszlos. Southern Master just couldn't quite go with him in the last 300 metres. And then we get back to Pacific Charm, Limbs Force, Fast and Fearless on the inside fence. There was Golden Dash, who never really looked a danger. Griffin, and towards the tail, Happy Friday. Never...
Good ride by Jamal, and winner goes number 2, Satria from number 9. War Warrior, that goes to number 11, River Dragon, and 4th goes to number 3, Laszlos. And the number is 2, 9, 11, 3 as we wait for the all clear results. The winner goes number 2, Satria, $54 for win and $18 for place. Second goes to number 9, War Warrior, $17 for place. Third goes to number 11, River Dragon, $9 for place. And 4th goes to number 3, Laszlos. Forecast through 2-9 returns 131. Place forecast 2-9 return 33, 2-11 returns 28, 9-11 return 38. And Tiersay 2-9-11 returns 1,907. Frio 2-9-11 returns 361. And Quartet 2-9-11 3, there's no winner, so $7,701 will be carried forward to race number 2. And the time was 1 minute 12.01, and the margins half a length, 1 length, and a neck. That's the result for race number 1, and we have a photo for 4th of number 3 from Southern Master. And let's look at the run-on. 5th goes number 5, Southern Master, and then Limbs Force at 7, and Golden Dash at 9, and last one number 12, Griffin. That's the result for race number 1. Let's take a little short pause, and we'll be right back.
Creative Dreams, who's got plenty of galloping room, and he's about 3 lengths off the leader, and the last couple are Limbs Force and Pacific General at the back of the field, a long way from this bunch. There is a line of 6 as they come to the 200 metre mark, looking to try and find that forward position. Getting the iron out late is Creative Dreams, and as they come into the last 50 metres, Creative Dreams will break away. Nice trial win there, wins it over.
was Sebring Colt. Into the straight they travel, 350 left to go. Cash King asked for up in front. Roger the same, 10 the man out now. Every possible here for the Jerome Tarn runner. Sweet and Sour the inside with something to offer but no run. Down the outside, City Gold Telecom looking to pick them up here now. Starting to pick them up really well down the outside, City Gold Telecom. It's not going to be pretty, but he's going to get the job done. City Gold.
Sleeves and being niggled along at the back is Navy Seals. It's still Bravo Kid. He's rolled off the rail now and he's about 3 off the inside fence, but a couple of chasers are coming. Commander Jones being fully tested, travelling nicely. Legend of Niagara on the fence, and Roman Chief doing his best work late. Still Bravo Kid coming into the last 150. Roman Chief's going to have one last crack at him on the line. Bravo Kid, Roman Chief, I think.
To present here on the favourite September in the red distinguishing cap. Gold Plan was next, Strike Gold out after. There was good late support here for Strike Gold. He starts to present as September goes up to the outside of Ace of Diamonds. He's not going away from them here though, the favourite at the 200 metres. Going to have to work for it here. Ace of Diamonds kicking back up on the inside. Strike Gold, September, no good thing here in this fourth race. The outside, Strike Gold, the money's spot on. Strike Gold gets the win in race 4.
As we're dying to back to race day, or race number 2, restricted maiden, 1400 meters, long course D, $75,000 prize money, and a start time at 12:30 p.m. Number 1, Creative Dream from 8, Simon Court at 469. Number 2, Tender Man from 12, Banana Pinheiro at 457. Number 3, Lightning Strike from 1, Harry Cassim at 503. Number 4, Sweet and Sour from 10, Shafriza at 484. Number 5, Roman Chief from 3, Manuel Nunes at 510. Number 6, Sage Ridge from 11, Keros at 541. 541. Number 7, Seamlessly from 4, Louis Pilsela at 499. And number 8, Raging Rabbit from 2, Simon TH Cole at 477. Number 9, the favourite, number Ace of Diamond from 9, Dylan Moore at 510. Number 10, John Rich from 5, Zyro at 513. Number 11, Gold Plan from 7, Jolin Xiao at 530. And number 12, Sage Warrior from 6, Krishna at 547. And we have Xavier Heron and Starboy and this Grand Sage. These 3 horses will not be running. Alright, we have 12 full field as we start with the paddock for race number 2, a restricted maiden company, 1400 meters. As we look at the number 1 horse, Creative Dream, as we welcome back Scott at 5 runs so far. A couple of pretty nice placing.
It was a really nice couple of runs in his last 4 starts, Ray. He's trialled coming into this in really good fashion, as we saw just before the race card was read out. 27 and 10, I think, looks a really respectable quote for a horse that's just knocking on the door to win that first restricted maiden. And the step up to 1400 metres looks ideal. I think he's just probably finding those 1200 metres maybe just a little bit sharp, and he seems to be doing his best work late. So I've got him in my numbers. I didn't have him on top, but I think he has to be considered as a genuine top 3 player.
Yes, I concur with you that the trial was pretty impressive, and he's knocking on the door. This up and coming 3 years old. I'm surprised he's not the favourite at the moment. Another one that will be pretty competitive, number 2, Dan the Man, that 8 runs so far and 3 minor placing.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hard horse to catch, Ray. His form is a bit inconsistent, but he's going to win a race very shortly, this guy. I think the market's going to be the telling tale. He comes from a stable that when the money comes for them late, that's usually a good indication that they're pretty confident on the chances. So the wide barrier was just the one thing that threw me off here this afternoon, Ray. He's going to have to jump from barrier number 12, and he's going to have to be pretty sharp to be beating some of these horses that have just put up a few better runs in their last couple of starts. Yeah,
I agree. It's not going to be easy for him to cut across. There's some horses right inside him will be pretty quick as well. So similar style of racing, you might just find that a bit tricky for him And next up we have number 9. It's Ace of Diamond, and one start runner, or 2 starts in fact. Last start was pretty impressive.
It was impressive. I'm not sure about the $12 quote though. I didn't have him mapped anywhere near that in my mind. Look, he came out 2 weeks ago and finished, as you said, it was a nice run behind Strike Gold. Now, he was up on the speed and he was dropping off. When you look at the sectional timings, he was actually in the second half of the field in terms of the last 400 metres. So he looks well on the parade ring. I think he's a very nice-looking son of Swiss Ace. He's got to jump from barrier number 9, and if he shows speed, if he gets there easy enough, then it's going to be a nice run for him. But if he gets caught 3 wide or having to do it hard early, he might just sort of fold up a little bit at the end. But keen to see how he performs.
Likewise for me, keen to see him. Next up is number 12, Sage Warrior, making his debutant performance here for the very first time.
Yeah, not sure what to make on him. I went through and had a look at the breeding. Couldn't find too much in terms of family relations and family performances. He's just going to probably need the run here this afternoon, Ray. He's so friendless in the market that you're not sure really what to look for. $537. It's a big price for a horse that is coming here on debut. So let's just watch what he does today.
Yes, agreed. For this number 12. Big price. And next up is number 5, Roman Chief, and had 3 runs, or was right in front there.
Yeah, trials have been very slick. Gandharvi have a really nice horse, judging by what we've seen at the trials. They've taken their time with him. His first trial came back in May, and then his next one was nearly a month apart each trial. So whether he's just had a couple of maybe maturing issues or not, but they've taken their time with him. Daniel Moore's done majority of the work, and Nunez will take the ride. He draws well. I think he'll just sit just off a speed and have one crack at him. He looks to be a real live contender here this afternoon.
He has looked good in paddock, a little bit excited, but he's in pretty nice form and train well in the morning as well. Next up is number 3, Lightning Stride. Last start in that restricted maiden company, gained a lot of ground.
It was an absolute horror watch last start. He was held up from the 400, 2 to 100. Mark Lerner was in the saddle on that occasion, and look, he got out when the race was all done and dusted, Ray. Harry Chasm will have to go from barrier 1, but he's going to need to get him off the rail. If he gets held up in traffic again, it's not going to be a pretty watch. But I've got him on top simply off that last couple of starts. He just hasn't had any luck in his career so far.
No luck in his last start, but looks a pretty talented type. Next up is number 8, Raging Rabbit, and I want that will need another run.
Yeah, they've got the blinkers on first time. Hopefully that can sharpen him up a little bit. He draws well, but he hasn't shown any speed in his last start, but also his trials race. So the blinkers are probably more so just to keep him focused instead of probably sharpening him up. But the step up to 1,400 metres, I think, will be a good indication on where we're at this point of his preparation.
That was number 8, Raging Rabbit, and we have a look at the one in front, number 7, Simplicity. Had one start, didn't really show much. Yeah,
well, Jimmy Wong was meant to ride him here this afternoon, but he's been replaced by Louis Beauzelon. Big price, over $300, and his first career start, he comes out of that same race that Lightning Strike and also Sweet and Sour and Sage Ridge come out of, but there wasn't too much to go off on that occasion. He was beaten a long way, and I can't see him improving here this afternoon, sadly, Ray.
Yeah, there's a big improvement needed from this seamlessly, and change your rider to Louis. As we try to look for the rest, and we got number 10, Jan Rich, had one run, he went to the front but couldn't really hold on there.
Yeah, I believe it's actually pronounced Genrick. It's actually like a name. If it was Jen Rich Ray, I think there'd be a space between the N and the R. So I'll go along with Genrick as a pronunciation, but he's another one who gets the blinkers on first time. He's well bred by Your Song out of Rihanna, so there is a bit of speed in the family. We know that Your Songs are usually early goers, and he's a nice, decent size galloper, but I think the market will tell the tale with him, and let's see how he performs with the blinkers first up.
Thanks, Scott, for that pronunciations. lessons.
I'll find a few more throughout the afternoon.
Oh, number 11 got really worked up in the paddock this time.
Yeah, Gold Plan just getting a little bit on the toes by shooting to win. Nice bred type of horse. Wasn't a disgrace run back last start. Was only beaten 5 lengths behind Strike Gold, and there was a little bit of betting support in the last minute or so. Came 179 into 104. He's a lovely big type of horse. He turns 3 next month, in next week, Ray. So, yeah, keen to see how he performs. Maybe one to hit the line late.
Yeah, one of a few that expect to see some improvement from him. And we I think can make a case out of him for the last start. Next up is number 6, Sage Rage, and one start wasn't that bad behind City Gold Telecom.
Yeah, it wasn't. He's a real speedy customer, Sage Ridge. Now, Bruno Carrez will have to be very, very sharp from this wide draw. I think he's going to look to vie for the lead. That's how I've got him mapped out in my mind. He gets the winkers on first time. That hood will come off when he gets behind the barriers. He wasn't too bad behind City Gold Telecom, but he just probably had to do a little bit of work in that early stage of the race. Let's watch the market with him, Ray. Plenty of gear changes and a good rider change.
Yes, a good rider change for this young up-and-coming Brazilian.
I think today we might see him get his first win, Ray, hopefully.
Yeah, very likely have you have about 11 runs today, and yeah, definitely we'll hope to see him winning his first win here in Singapore. And I think we've seen all except number 4, the 4.
Just fixing some gear on it by the looks of it, Ray. Shafraz Wasali and the Stephen Crutchley stable are just getting the gear tacked up on him.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, as they are making the amendment, or rather the adjustment. Sweet and sour.
He's another one that can show speed, I think, Ray. The crossover noseband goes on first time, but he's obviously one to just tread carefully. He wasn't beaten too far last start, but his performance 2 runs ago was pretty disappointing when you have a look at the race ratio. So I've left him out of my numbers. I think there's just a couple ahead of him that have performed much better.
Yeah, he needs to sort of like put his best foot forward. The gear change might hopefully can do him some good. Had some experience in the turf conditions. So putting on the cross nose band for the first time, which he had the experience when he was at a trial that was in June and May as well. So hopefully with this piece of equipment will help him further. Right, we have seen all of them. As we're still waiting for Sweet and Sour to come out. And we will take a look at the claims and for race number 2. As we mentioned, the favorite right now is number 9, Ace of Diamond, who had pretty nice runs last start. As we look at the claims and overweight for race number 2, Sweet and Sour Rider, Shafriza claim 1, and TH Cole got to claim 1 on Raging Rabbit, and Dylan Moore have to carry 1.5 over for the favorite, and from Zyro got to claim have to put carry 1 over for this number 10 horse, and Jolene Xiao have to carry 1 over. Go planned. And Krishna Tangamani got to claim 1 as I have to carry 1 over for Sage Warrior as well. Right, that was the claim and overweight for this race number 2. As horses are making their way to the starting gate, we'll take a little short pause and be right back for race number 2.
Sided with number 3, Lightning Strike on top. I've been following this guy since his first start. He's had a couple of unlucky runs so far in his career, and if he can just see some daylight in the last 200 metres or so, I think he can get the job done here for Harry Chasm and Tim Fitzsimmons, who's got a great hand in the race with Creative Dreams as well. Roman Chief goes in for second. He seems to be very well bred. He comes here with some really nice trial statistics, and he looks to be a horse that has above average ability. So I'm curious to see how he can perform on debut. Manuel Nunez gets a gun draw from barrier number 3 and should have a very comfortable run in transit, and the money is really starting to come for him now at $19. Third pick, number 1, Creative Dreams. Just needs to be pretty tactical from a wide draw, but he holds plenty of claims and has trialled really nicely coming into this event. I wouldn't be surprised if he won, but I definitely have him in my top 3, and as I said, he did trial up really nicely. And to round out my top 4, number 9, Ace of Diamonds, who's just getting out a little bit in the market now as money comes for other runners. But there was a lot to like about that run when finishing behind Strike Gold. And he comes here looking really sharp in the parade ring too. He seems to be thriving after each run. So he looks to be an improver, the rising 3-year-old son of Swiss Ace. 3, 5, 1 and 9, Lightning Strike to beat Roman Chief, Creative Dreams and Ace of Diamonds. But it's a very hot contest here, Raymond Yong.
Thanks, Scott. I'm going for a little bit different from you. From number 5, same number but different from you. From number 5, Roman Chief, mainly because his trial was pretty impressive. He wasn't retested, but he looked pretty mature for the 3 years old. And yeah, his progeny, including his Pacific Emperor, did pretty well last weekend. So hopefully with that pedigree, he may just able to get the job done this time out with Manuel Nunez on board. He's getting quite a fair bit of money now. This number 5 horse from $22 to $19 at the moment. Though not going close to Ace of Diamond, but it's not too far away. And we have number 2, Tender Man. Not the easiest horse to ride, but you need to be a little bit more positive. And yeah, I agree, not going to be easy for him to cut across. But if you do find that momentum, you'll be somewhere there about this Tender Man. But number 1, Creative Dream, had a couple of trial. In fact, had a trial pretty nicely, and I thought he might just be able to improve gradually for this 3 years old. And from this Lightning Strike, as you mentioned, that last run was pretty impressive when he gained quite a fair bit of ground, despite he was being held up, but he did fall on strongly at the end. So expect to see a much improved performance here for this 3-year-old son of Impending. So my number is 5, 2 and 1 and 3.
As I mentioned, the favourite opened up at number 9, Ace of Diamonds, Ray, but support coming for a couple of runners, but no real big moves as I take a look at the betting screen. We've got a lot of horses that are well over the triple figure odds.
Yeah, seems like everybody's set on this number 9, Ace of Diamond. I think mainly because of that performance last start when he was pretty positive. And perhaps maybe change of a rider might do him some good. Although this the barrel draw is going against him, he need to be way sharper this time around to get him to the front. As I mentioned, some horses and his inside him, a couple of horses probably have some natural speed in front. For example, the one Creative Dream might give him quite a fair bit of headache, as both of them have quite similar style of running, so he's not going to get it easy from have it easy from this creative Dream. And also Lightning Strike, although he might just try to find a cover. So I think the tactic wise, perhaps 1 Creative Dreams, Ace of Diamonds, even Tender Man might just go to the front.
Yeah, it looks to be a real speedy affair, and well, we do have 1,400 metres. We return to the long course here as we saw on Singapore Derby Day last weekend, Ray. But that breeze is still really strong. I know you can't feel it from down there in the parade ring, but it is quite blustery, as you can hear from the microphone.
I can feel the heat here now. It's pretty warm here, right now. I can imagine that having quite a fair bit of sun and strong wind going against them. Not ideal, but I think not the worst. But yeah, I think for this young contender here. Or most of them are 2 or 3, even 3 years old, even 2 years old in the field. Not going to be easy for them. All right, horses are loading in, and your favorite still number 9. This Ace of Diamond, this 2-year-old, Alban Cumming, a son of Swiss Ace, and from number 5, which is getting quite a fair bit of attention as well, Roman Chief, from number 1, Creative Dreams, and number 3 horse is Lightning Strike, getting quite a fair bit of attention. As we head upstairs to you, Scott, for the race call, race number 2.
Thank you, Ray. Really nice affair here. $75,000 in prize money for the restricted maidens. Just a couple hovering around the back, most notably 2 in the market, Lightning Strike and Roman Chief. Coming forward now is Sage Warrior, alongside Sage Ridge for Bruno Carrez, who has a busy book of rides here this afternoon. Tender Man comes forward, as these last few start to move up, including Raging Rabbit for the JHI stable. Gold Plan for Geraldine Xiao. Just takes a couple of backward steps. So he goes in now as Lightning Strike takes his place on the inside alley for Harry Chasm. And the last one to come forward will be number 5 in Roman Chief, for our leading champion jockey in Manuel Nunez. So the starter is up on his stand, and he watches the last one load away. 1,400 metres ahead. Flags up at the back. Starter drops the... Oh, and one coming off. A rider has been dismounted here, TH Cohen, Raging Rabbit. So he'll go around without a rider, number 8. And beginning quickly was Lightning Strike. Outside of them, giving chase is Genrick, seamlessly up there on the pace. Roman Chiefs drop back to 4th. Ace of Diamonds will look to get a nice little card across from the wide draw. Gold Plan worse in midfield. To the outside of it is Sage Ridge. And then we get back to Sweet and Sour 10, the man spreading out with Creative Dreams second last. And at the back of the field is Sage Warrior, struggling to keep up the pace. Finding the front now is Genrick, about half a length, as Lightning Strike has done a good job to pop off and get to the outside. Harry Chasm, they've put a bit of speed into this race, 400 metres in 23.94, so going at a decent clip. Roman Chief just smoking the pipe in 3rd. Outside of it is Seamlessly, and peeling across the hills now, Ace of Diamonds. Gold Plan's going to look to hug the inside fence. Tender Man not too far behind him, and Sweet and Sour. It's a lineup of horses, and on the outside here, giving chase, Roman Chief has skipped away by a length and a half, and draws on now with Lightning Strike not really making up the margin. Sweet and Sour running on, out wide on the course. Giving chase is Creative Dreams, but Roman Chief has a nice buffer coming into the last 50 metres or so. Roman Chief, very nice, impressive performance. Wins it over Creative Dreams. Sweet and Sour into 3rd. Lightning Strike up on the inside rail, finished in 4th, alongside Ace of Diamonds. Gold Plan, Tender Man just finishing midfield. A long gap back there. Finishing off was Sage Ridge, and on the inside fence, back there to Genrick towards the tail, Sage Warrior, and at the tail of the field, Seamlessly. And the rider, TH Co, who's only just come back from injury, I do believe he's to his feet after falling out of the barriers.
Yeah, fortunately, I think when the barrel just opened, Raging Rabbit was unease, and fortunately the speed wasn't that quick, and hopefully and TH Co has sort of a jump off from the horse. I
think he just sort of took a bit of a sort of inward turn and just caught him off guard as he hit the ground, Ray, because when you ping out of the gates as a rider, your momentum does fling forward, and you probably just might have dipped and just sort of got him thrown off balance a bit.
Yeah, off balance a bit. Thankfully, I hope he's fine.
I'm just having a look across the way. I think he got to his feet rather quickly, so yeah, he's probably in the car already and heading back into the jockey's room.
Yes, thank goodness.
They haven't been able to catch though Raging Rabbit. He's broken through the straps, and he's just making his way out to the front here of the grandstand, and the Sice is going to do his best to catch him, but I can even see Ricardo Lagrange is actually out on the course as well to lend a hand, and I don't think he's going to go too far. He can see the other horses and he wants to get near him. But let's get back to the winner, Ray. That was a very, very sharp, impressive performance from Roman Chief, and he's clocked 122.41, and that's a pretty nice time considering standard time is 122.15, and he's only 2/10 outside of the class record.
Oh yeah, definitely a very nice run by this Roman Chief. He saved a lot of ground, and he found himself a pretty nice cover. He was racing along with Ace of Diamond. Ace of Diamond was pretty uneasy throughout the race, and you know, he was trying to settle her, but couldn't. But
I thought he'd done a good job to get him where he got to, but was just sort of forced to come around them at one stage.
Yeah, because I think perhaps the racing condition doesn't suit him whatsoever. But this Roman Chief saved a lot of ground, he find cover, and you know, Nunes was a master in getting horses to settle as early as possible. He saved a lot of ground, and there was no doubt when in the top of the straight, he just flew home strongly. That shows that it's another one horse that will be very competitive in 1400 meters in future.
He certainly will, and a couple of eye catchers in behind them as well. Creative Dreams was doing his best work late. That win is not too far from him. I won't be surprised to see him go off as favourite at his next run. But Michael Clements now race. It's too clear on the Trainers' Premiership.
Yes, this Gandavi racing at a very good hand for Michael Clements, and they struck a very good combination in the recent months, in fact recent years, and a big run by Manuel and with Michael Clements. And with the provisional results, as we look at it, 1 minute 22.41, and the number is 5, 1, 4 and 3, as we will have the replay for race number 2.
Starter drops and one coming off. A rider has been dismounted here. T.H. Cohen, Raging Rabbit. So he'll go around without a rider, number 8. And beginning quickly was Lightning Strike. Outside of them, giving chase is Genrick, seamlessly up there on the pace. Roman Chiefs drop back to 4th. Ace of Diamonds will look to get a nice little card across from the wide draw. Gold Plan worse in midfield. To the outside of it is Sage Ridge. And then we get back to Sweet and Sour 10, the man spreading out with Creative Dreams second last. And at the back of the field is Sage Warrior, struggling to keep up the pace. Finding the front now is Genrick, about half a length, as Lightning Strike has done a good job to pop off and get to the outside. Harry Chasm, they've put a bit of speed into this race, 400 metres in 23.94, so going at a decent clip. Roman Chief just smoking the pipe in 3rd. Outside of it is Seamlessly, and peeling across the hills now, Ace of Diamonds. Strike Gold Plan's going to look to hug the inside fence. Tan the Man not too far behind him, and Sweet and Sour. It's a lineup of horses, and on the outside here, giving chase, Roman Chief has skipped away by a length and a half, and draws on now with Lightning Strike not really making up the margin. Sweet and Sour running on, out wide on the course. Giving chase is Creative Dreams, but Roman Chief has a nice buffer coming into the last 50 metres or so. Roman Chief, very nice, impressive performance, wins it over Creative Dreams. Sweet and Sour into 3rd. Lightning Strike up on the inside rail, finished in 4th, alongside Ace of Diamonds. Gold Plan, Tan the Man just finishing midfield. A long gap back there. Finishing off was Sage Ridge, and on the inside fence, back there to Genrick. 5, 1, 4 and 3 are your numbers. Roman Chief at a price of 21 and 13 scores to take out race number 2 as we await the all clear on the second event. And 13, 1 Creative Dreams, 6 to place, 4 Sweet and Sour, 30 to place, and 3 Lightning Strike finished in 4th. Forecast 1 and 5, $21 plus Place forecast 1 and 5, $8, 4 and 5, $36, 1 and 4, $38. TSA 514 returns $577 with the trio 145, paying $203. Quartet 514 and 3, $2,329. Margins were 4 1/4 by 1 1/4 by 2 lengths in a time of 122.41. We'll take a quick pause and be right back with race number 3, which is 18 minutes away here on race day.
Dominant. The outside deepest of all is Opanaki. Groovy was next there, and heading the rest of them was Lim's Dreamwalker. Down past the 250, Time Travel's making a race of it. Cash Cove's really going to have to work here as well. Opanaki on the outside starting to present here with the lightweight. It's Time Travel. Opanaki's going to make it very interesting. Time Travel from Opanaki. Cash Cove nowhere to be seen. Time Travel holds photo.
Boy just held up amongst those. Lim's Denali back to the inside rail. Thunderstar's got about 3 lengths to make up and he's put under pressure, this race favourite. To his outside is War Frontier, and the last couple are My Determination and Lim's Force. Diaz skips away. Here comes Fatter Boy, and Fatter Boy gets up to loom up to Diaz. Running on there is Salamence. Fatter Boy and Diaz. Diaz fighting back on the inside. Fatter Boy.
Want to really respond to the rider here at the moment. He's going back through the field. The Jun sticking on to the inside. Working through on the inside as well. Doc Hudson, Bembo, Pacific Charm coming out from the back here. Opanaki's giving him something to chase here at the 200 metres. Extends out here by 2-3 lengths. Elliot Ness, the only challenger here late in the race. Manuel Nunez looking to get an early winner here with Opanaki, and the favourite's going to get the job done here in the first. Opanaki a length. Beats there. Akhtar is outside in second, starts to present here as well. Blue Jay next. From the inside there, Lim's Dreamwalker. Zygarde followed from first bowl, and down the outside, War Frontier starts to close. Akhtar hits the front here at the 150. He's careering away from them here in his Singapore debut. Akhtar for Manuel Nunez and the King Power stable. They unleashed Cavalry last week, and they've unleashed Akhtar this afternoon. 2.5 lengths.
Welcome back to race day as we head to the Class 4 Division 2 over the 1,000 metres on the poly track. Field of 10 lining up. 1 Watch Out Boss for Bruno Carrez in 10. 2 Cash Cove for Mohamed Zaki in 6. 3 Time Travel Matthew Kennedy in 8. 4 Romantic for Krisna Tangamani in barrier number 7. 5 Diaz gets Harry Chasm from 3. 6 Opanaki TH Cole in 4. 7 War Frontier for Simon Cock in 1, and 8 Royal Commander Zyrul jumps from 5. 9 First Bowl Xiao in 2, and 10 Lim's Dreamwalker K Faiz in barrier number 9. As we can bring you the claims and overweights. 4 Romantic Krisna -1, 6 Opanaki TH Co -1, 8 Royal Commander Zyrul -0.5 kilogram. First runner off the mark and looking nice and leisurely in his parade is Watch Out Boss for Daniel Ma, who owns and trains a 7-year-old Raymond Yong. 49 and 12 for Bruno Carrez.
Understandable, as he back in the Class 4 company where he will be pretty competitive. Although he been pretty did a pretty nice job in the 1100 meters. Maybe 1,000 might sharpen him up a little bit. He looks good. Okay, the paddock, he knows his way. Nothing wrong with him. So yeah, do consider him for one of your top 4 choice.
Watch Out Boss with the blinkers on and the visor off, but he did wear the blinkers as recently as 2 starts ago back in May, so not much of a real gear change there. Let's have a look at number 3, Time Travel. We spoke about him at the start of the show, Ray. Matthew Kennedy retains a ride, and he jumped and showed speed and was far too good last start.
Yeah, big improvement for this Time Travel last start when they be very positive for him, given that barrel draw. He went to the front, and a big price, $106 bidding Opanaki. I wouldn't be surprised he continue on his performance. He looks good in the paddock. A little bit anxious, but that's a good, pretty nice sign for a 4-year-old. He's full of energy.
So still very lightly raced here in Singapore, the son of Spirit of Boom. Just start number 5 here this afternoon. Let's head to number 4, his stablemate and Romantic. Richard Lim and Krisna Tangamani, $107 a win. He has gone up 10 kilos in body weight though, Ray.
Yeah, a bit putting on some weight, but it's all okay. Nice and come and collected here in the paddock. He been doing pretty well in terms of 1,000 meters. Even step up to 1,200 meters, not a problem for him. He went up to even Class 3 company. So this is not a very strong race for him as well. So, you know, do consider him. He looks good by standard.
So Romantic has been out of the winner's stall for well over a year and a half. Number 6, Opanaki hasn't, no. He was the winner at his most recent start. Manuel Nunez was in the saddle, but TH Co, he seems okay after that spill in the previous race, Ray. So he's booked to ride and all is okay. $20.07 the place.
Yeah, TH got a little tumble just now, but he looks okay. In the paddock, still talking to Jason pretty nicely. Good for him that nothing bad happened to him. He looks okay. Opanaki lost Manuel Nunes this time around, but still in pretty nice shape. This is a much tougher field for him in the Class 4 company.
Here is number 5, Diaz, Tim Fitzsimmons and Harry Chasm, 21-7 the place, and he was a winner 2 starts ago in open maiden grade, but not a bad second placing when proving himself in the grade last start.
Oh, proving himself in the Class 4 company. Not much of him this year. Although take just 4 starts to get his first win here in Singapore, but can expect to see a lot of improvement from this horse. Still in pretty good shape, and train well in the morning. Take some boxes, except that you know, he's in a pretty competitive Class 4 company. Do consider him for one of your top 4 choice.
Bell rings for riders to get mounted up. Here is number 7, War Frontier. And the mailman flagging him up at 39-14 the place from an inside draw for Simon Cock.
Yeah, understandable. This horse has done pretty nicely in the 1,000 meters earlier on his career. In fact, last year, end of last year. But however, this year couldn't really fire off nicely, and mainly due to the racing condition that on the field he was slow into stride. Was pretty keen, but I think he does have ability. At $39. I think that's a very good price.
So getting legged up is Muhammad Zaki on Cash Cove, and he's looking to get back into some form, but performed really well in the 3-year-old series, and I think 16-6 is a little bit short. Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, a little bit short, but I just thought this horse yet to show his full potential yet. He needs to go to the front. And not the toughest horse to ride. I know we have been very competitive trying to get his win once again in the 1,000 meters recently, but he fallen really strongly. Unfortunately, he met with some pretty talented type of horses, so I don't mind him. In fact, I like him. I put him on top because he's a very natural front runner.
All 4 of his career victories have been on the poly track, and he was a nice second behind Thunderstar 2 runs ago. As we head towards Royal Commander for Richard Lim, who's quite busy saddling up a few here, Ray, and he gets Norzai Rule off a lightweight, $471, a big price though. Yeah,
big price. Richard, not just busy on the paddock, he's busy every morning in the track where he'll be riding all his horses in the morning track work to sharpen up his horses. I think he knows the horses very well. So yeah, at a big price, I kind of understand, because very much likely that he'll be competitive in the Class 5 company.
You're not wrong about Richard Lim. He's one of the hardest working trainers here at the Turf Club. Let's go to number 9, First Bowl for Daniel Ma, who's owns and trains a couple of these, and this guy's eligible for Class 5, Ray, but lines up in this event.
Yeah, slowly dropping his rating, slowly by bit, sometimes a 2 rating point or sometimes 1. Yeah, another horse that will find Class 5 more comfortable for him. So I'm happy to watch him, although this is not a very strong Class 4, but I just somehow need to see that this horse might be more comfortable in the Class 5 company.
So too is number 10, Lim's Dreamwalker, off a rating of 48. Comes here for Stephen Burridge, and yet to do anything in 3 starts at the 1,000 metres.
Yeah, 1,000 metres is way too sharp for him. The easiest horse to spot in the morning track work. Just look at his right side, right back, and you see that white spot behind him. Yeah, he will prefer the 1,600 metres, so this is just way too sharp for him. Just happy to watch him here.
So that is the field for race number 3 over the sharp trip of 1,000 metres. Runners are going to start to make their way up the tunnel and head to the gates. And we'll join you shortly for our selections and a betting update as we reach race number 3. Don't go anywhere. Start here for race number 3, and we have a favourite in horse number 6, Opanaki, who comes off the back of a Class 5 win. I've got him in my numbers, but I didn't have him on top. I look for a little bit of value in this event with the way of number 7, War Frontier, who gets the inside alley for Simon Cock. He's now down to a rating of 52. I'm just looking for this guy to try and find some form that saw him string together a couple of wins at the end of last season. He gets a really nice run here off a lightweight, and I didn't mind his run last start when finishing behind Akatar, who I think is a real leading player later on in the afternoon. So he goes on top ahead of number 5, Diaz, who gets a good draw. I wasn't too sure how much of that form from his open maiden race would come into his next start, but he braved it out for a really strong second behind Fatter Boy, who had to carry about 5 kilos less than what he did on that occasion. So look for him to show plenty of speed, and if he doesn't get taken on or they go too quick in the early stages, he'll be there in the finish, and he finds a much easier race in a Division 2 than what he did at his most recent outing. Third pick goes the way of number 3, Time Travel. He showed plenty of toe last start to get the coin for Matthew Kelledy when in the care of Jason Lim. He's now changed camps to Richard Lim, but he was a big price. And well, if you have a look, he beat Opanaki, and Opanaki came out and won at his most recent start, but he did have to drop down to Class 5. So there is plenty of form lines in amongst those two, and in such I've put Opanaki in for my 4th position. I think he's mixed it at Class 4, and that win in Class 5 was just far too superior for that lineup. My numbers here: 7, 5, 3 and 6. War Frontier to beat Diaz, Time Travel and Opanaki. And Raymond Yong, at this stage of the day, you're the only one with a winner to your name.
Thank goodness. Hopefully this good luck will continue to roll on. As you know, a very bad striking rate last 2 weeks. I'm going for number 2, Cash Cove, mainly because this 3-year-old up and coming from from Charm Spirit still have a lot of upside, and with Mzaki on board, he probably will roll to the front and hopefully can dictate the pace and run on strongly at the end. From this number 5, Diaz, although like in frame, but very competitive in terms of 1,000 meters. He probably will just take this good barrel draw, and a good racing conditions suit him pretty nicely, as he will be going to the front as well, one of us one runner. And from this number 7 horse, War Frontier, given this barrel draw, I think he will save a lot of ground and try to find the gap to run on at the last furlong. From number 3 horse, Time Travel, we didn't talk about him too much, but he made a pretty big impressive performance last start in that Class 4 company by going to the front. I think if he can duplicate the performance, he'll be somewhere there about. My number is 2, 5, 7, 3.
How's the market shaping up, Ray? Opanaki still holding that favouritism quote at $14. And if anything, the money's come really late for him, 19 into 14. So they're looking to see the Class 5 form relevate into Class 4.
Yeah, he's in good form, and in fact now there's everything can happen now. We know last time we talked about Class 5 horses will mainly compete in Class 5. But that's not the case recently. We see some of the horses who's in good form will be competitive as well in Class 4.
So $15 now for Opanaki, and just having a look at the board here in the callers box, Raiders. Not many moves coming. My pick at value, he's drifted 42 out to 58, so they're not wanting any piece of War Frontier. So too number 5, Diaz, 23 out to 29. So it just looks to be a bit of one-way direction here. Opanaki holding favouritism. Where's the speed coming, Ray? There's a couple of speedy customers. Time Travel. Diaz can show some toe. Who do you think leads them up?
I think maybe Kashkov. Yeah, I thought his performance that time in the even in the group races that he went to the front pretty nicely, and even in a Class 4 company he was somewhere there about. A couple of horses, the usual suspect, number 5 was Diaz. I know not much of him, but he probably will take advantage of this good barrel draw, because the 2 runners in front of him, inside of him, First Bull and War Frontier, may not be going to the front. So maybe Diaz, even Opanaki, the race favourite, he's one of a strong speedy customer here, so he might just be the one that going to the front. Time Travel, I'm not sure, given this barrel draw. He might just try to find some cover right at the pace. So yeah, the 3 usual suspect: Cash Cove, Openaki, or TS. Right, horses are loading in. We have up to you, Scott, for the race call of race number 3.
Thank you, Ray. Coming up in good order. We're just a couple of minutes past start time. Openaki at $16 has been locked away. Cash Cove to come forward. And that'll leave War Frontier and First Bowl in the Club Silks. So War Frontier to come forward for Simon Cock, who draws the ace. And they just spin around First Bowl one last time. So $16 about number 6. Unless we see one big change on Cash Cove, he will jump your favourite. Flags up at the back and we're set to go over 1,000 metres. Starter releases them off and racing. Diaz a little bit slowly into stride. So too Cash Cove. So a couple of the speed runners are at the back in the early stage. Openaki on the inside fence with Romantic now pushing on to the lead. Coming across Time Travel to sit on his girth for Kelledy. And that'll put Openaki in 3rd position. Royal Commander in 4th, 1 out, 1 back. As Watch Out Boss has just been forced to race 3 wide at this stage. War Frontier gets back to 6th position on the fence, with Diaz racing behind him. Cash Cove is 3rd last with First Bowl, and at the tail of the field, Lim's Dreamwalker. They've gone along 424.42, turning for the judge. It's Romantic in front with a little under 400 metres left to go. Time Travel's not going away in the white blinkers. Openaki starting to get up and move up to match terms with him. Watch Out Boss to his outside. Diaz looks to be a spent force on the outside of him, but he's starting to really fight as well. Here comes Watch Out Boss to Openaki, who takes over the lead with 80 to go. Openaki from Class 5 to Class 4 gets the win over Watch Out Boss. Diaz in a photo with Time Travel for 3rd, and a lineup of horses including War Frontier, First Bowl. Lim's Dreamwalker was doing a bit of work late, and the last couple home were Royal Commander, Romantic after the speed, and Cash Cove has finished a disappointing last. Well, Openaki, hasn't this guy hit some form? TH Cove, fresh from tumbling in the previous, has picked himself up, dusted himself off, and come out and ridden a great race here to take out race number 3 over Watch Out Boss, who was very brave for the fight. Bruno Carrez still looking for that first win in Singapore. And it looks like Diaz is going to hold on for another minor placing over Time Travel on the inside fence. So the punter's got it right, $11. They have absolutely crunched this horse. And the punters have got it right there, Raymond Yong. They've walked up to the windows, emptied the cash on the table and said, give me a ticket on number 6.
Yeah, I got it wrong. This Cash Cove had a horrible jump, even Diaz, and the one that have this good barrel draw. 2 of them had a horrible jump, and they have tried to find room, and it was being pushed along at the start, and obviously they took a lot of energy off that time and couldn't regain strongly. A big disappointment for me. But among the 3 that I mentioned that will probably go to front, Openaki this time around, he set himself pretty quietly. In fact, at a pace, he let this Romantic and the Time Travel to roll to the front, and he found himself a very nice cover. And he didn't really use much at the early part of the race, and fought on strongly. I think Watch Out for this, Watch Out Boss, and he flew really strongly. This will be, in fact, Class 4 will be his playground, and very likely he will knock in a win pretty soon.
He certainly will, and look, a couple of eye catches as well. I thought Diaz was brave. He just found another gear in that last 100 metres and was able to fill the minor placings. And so too Time Travel, who's only just missed out. So
yeah,
I think we're going to see some good form coming out of this race, Ray.
If Diaz jumped nicely, you know, given this barrel draw, he actually went up. He had to go, travel a lot of distance. He went 4 wide, and he was being pushed along earlier part of the race, even up to 600 meters. So if he can have a nice jump, I think next time around he might just be able to. I think he will do better.
Jason Ong's having a good season as well. He now goes back to just 1 behind Michael Clements, and he's probably, well, Jason Lim was the up-and-coming stable until he got handed that disqualification, Ray. But Jason Ong has quickly taken that perch, and he'll be looking to try and fight out a Trainers' Premiership.
Yes, and Jason that is doing very well. We know that his association with World Affair, and he's another one that local scene is doing pretty nicely, and some horses who are in a very nice form and up and coming. Unfortunately, we have to stop our operation next year in 2024, but he's in a nice patch of form. That's Jason. No.
Third, and a lineup of horses including War Frontier, First Bowl. Lynn's Dreamwalker was doing a bit of work late, and the last couple home were Royal Commander, Romantic after the speed, and Cash Cove has...
Nice run by Opnaki from number 1, Watch Out Boss. That goes to number 5, Diaz. Nice run by Opnaki. 3, Time Travel. Number 1, Watch Out Boss. 6153. Number 5, Diaz. And fourth goes to number 3, Time Travel. And number 6153, time 59.0. Let's be waiting for the all clear results.
42，四重彩，6号、5号、3号，彩金1407块钱。距离半个马位，1个马位，1个短马头，时间59.09秒。看看跑第3名的就是迪亚兹里的终点的照片。它跟穿越时空只是一个短马头的差距。第5名开始，10号 那是林家梦游，然后有9号的第一晚，7号战前，4号罗马大道，8号的是军爷，最后皮过终点，2号的现金万模式。
And last of all is Exceed Natural. 400 metres left to go, and it's on the outside Centurion in a lather of sweat with Fate to Win to his inner. Coming into it now is Screenshot and Blue Idol in the white blinkers. Anything from the back, Red Dragon looking a little bit one pace to his outer is Top Field. And then we have behind him running on Mystery Power. It's Blue Idol going up to Screenshot, but Red Dragon's kicked in and found another gear, and Red Dragon goes on and scores. Out now and make a challenge. Outside of him is Sacred Passion, leads from to the inside, and 1 million. The rest just seem to be foundering with 330 metres left to go. It is Delilah, the filly, up on the inside fence for Ronnie Stewart, still holding a length and a half. Rotor Robot's not going away. He had a horrid run in the early stage, but that could just be starting to show here at the end. It's Delilah with 100 metres left to go. She's holding strong. Delilah for Ronnie Stewart. Delilah goes on and scores, beats Rotor.
And it's Foreshadow up on the outside here. A pickup ride for Vlad Jurek. Leads the way here by a length. The inside sticking on City Gold Friend. Out wide Leg Day, Windfall. A few of these a little bit wayward, trying to make ground from the back. Rotor Robot, Pacific Beauty still a ways off them here. Foreshadow up in front here from Sacred Gold. City Gold Friend still working through with Windfall here. Foreshadow, can he hold on? Foreshadow kicks and gets it. His own way from the inside through a majority of the trip. Galaxy Bar under a ride starting to come up to him as Gold Governor is now asked to lift here on the inside. Gold Governor a length and a half. Galaxy Bar the challenger. Top Confidence has dropped away here with Bintang 61. Galaxy Bar's making this favourite work. Galaxy Bar in his second run here in Singapore. Gold Governor can do no more, and Galaxy Bar for Stephen Burridge picks up his win in his second run in the...
进入第4场赛事，1点30分开跑，未夺标马的公开赛，1600公尺草地赛事，奖金2万元。1号海岸科西纳加4排位5，2号黑风神爆照林减2排位6，3号淡如雨下高头发加2排位2，4号绝对顶级 B5 活加10排位4。5号吉祥如意罗士兰减1排位3，6号达喜格拉利减7排位9，7号国金友潘小朗加6排位8，8号好儿子显9号女人40奎洛斯减4排位12，10号财星61沙里扎减1排位10，11号太平精神穆勒钦加5排位7，12号战斗守则塞鲁减1排位1。看看中减磅，科西纳还有高德发减1公斤，罗士兰减4公斤，沙里扎减1公斤，穆勒钦加1公斤。另外塞鲁呢，则是要加1公斤的驮重。目前的大热门就落到了这个潘小朗的坐骑了，7号的国金友，12块钱独赢5块1的位置。好了，先看一匹5号的吉祥如意，这匹马的这个身形呢，真的是非常的娇小啊，在这个中长途的赛事已经跑过很多次了，还是一样没有办法有成绩，今天就带上了。
淡如雨下说。我来陪你，然后女人40说还有我。
对啊，很多小型的哈。
所以吉祥如意在这边压力就没有那么大。
对，至少焦点不在我身上。
他仍然是最轻的那一匹，但是轻的马很多。 听说越南啊、泰国那边的有些那种民间马场啊，有像这种体型的是很正常的标准体型来的，就它都是350左右的。
6号的是达喜。达喜之前一直在那个新马赛呢，遇到强的对手就没办法有表现。不过他上一去到未夺标马之后，我觉得算是有起色的。
1/3到1/4的争胜机会，所以这个40多块钱很合理的价钱。
是他最近以来算是最有票的一次了。
但是他到不了1/2的机会。
对。
没有那个分量。
就是争上名的可能性比较高。
因为有这批。
国金有，你看根本就是一面倒的大热门，因为第2热门都去到22块了，跟他相差10块钱呢。你看他的名次5、4、2、3，今天应该是要赢的了。
今天很大声一点，就是他了。你看他走过来这个台型，比刚才看的都好。等一下我相信也看不到1、2匹了，比他好的没有。
其他的全部都是未夺标嘛。
他尽快摆脱这样的场合，跟这些在一起跑。
他就是今天第一次来1600啦，他是没有1400的经验就直接跳1600的。那1号的就是海岸，这个你看跑2次的短途也是什么都看不到吧？
但是这条种系它是跑这个途程的嘞。
长途都有可能
啊。反正不敢乱批评了。
因为他用的少了。
我没有看到这匹马，坦白说我没有看到它太多的缺点。优点呢，它没有成绩，我们说优点，人家也不愿意太多人去接受，不信的。
当然，另外一方面是他跑那2场输，坦白说也没有说输到超过10个马位，不是那种完全没有存在感的。
所以我才说1号啊，这个
看他等一下那个票的动静啊。
你要想博冷啊，我就讲一句了，你博冷真的一点点就够了。1号。
2号的黑风神啊，这个也是身形不大的啊。他之前我的兄弟那场跑的第2名，其实是输得蛮远的。
就是现在跑到目前为止，蒙古可汗的子嗣啊，亲儿子啊，都没有什么好的走势。
上次1600有过一次跑第4名，可是也是输很远。
这条种到本地有4匹还是5匹啊，直系的。
3号的大如雨下，刚刚说了也是身材娇小的，他是在这个中距离，我觉得还是有一定的气量哈，只是说他好像在沙地的表现稍微好一些些。
今天这个草地就当沙地跑了，如果他能领在前面，对他是有帮助的。
而且对于王坤耀来说，能赢一场是一场啊。
你抽这个位，你不领太浪费了。你慢步出去领了，没有太多马去骚扰的，因为国金有一定贴上来为你护驾的。
那绝对顶级就唯一的上名在1600就是上亿，输给红龙来了那一场。当时是拖得很轻。
好嘞，今天是大家都中。这个就变成跑平棒的感觉了。因
为除了后面那2匹特别轻之外，那2匹又没有什么机会的感觉。
是的。他和达喜就情况很类似了。
8号的是好儿子，这个跑了3回的短途赛，慢慢看到有起色了。今天增程，然后一用上显文诺，就多少有这个支持票了。
就传说他跟7号比较了，他更好啊。传说是不是真的呢？就拿事实来说话了。
因为坦白说，2匹都没有1600的经验嘛，都连1400都没有，就是短途赛这样子上来的。
正常发挥的话，我觉得8号也不应该会表现太差的。所以你想把它放在争胜行列看待的话呢，甚至比那刚才看的4号跟6号都好。他们没有机会去报名参加2000、2200甚至更长，没有所以现在就只能在这些1600上头先继续练气了。 没有坏处的。
拉财星6-1来了。这匹马上一开始看到有进展了，而且他是有1600的经验的，只是那时第一次跑1600就跑得不怎么样了。近期上一银河98那一场算是比较好的。
财星6-1到现在，因为这件彩衣呢，其实一直是沙里扎在骑不同的练马师训练的这件彩衣的马匹。所以我有理由相信他可能现在骑这匹马要比前面的那些除了史昭玉之外都要骑得好。就是史昭玉已经帮这匹马开光了。
对啊。战斗守则。2场短途。有点像海岸的感觉了，我觉得他2匹
是这个
好像都是跑2场，但是没有你说差也不是差得很离谱的那一种。
最轻就他了，但是2岁马现在很多人说2岁，你别忘记过2天就3岁了。
也是王坤要的。因为这个血统也是长途的血统。
是。
还有一匹
太平精神还没看。
哇，不过太平精神一下子也是跌很多。本来补了。
现在很多就想大热门没有回报价值，那冷俏的时候天马行空的了，很多马都敢想了。
太平精神同样是。
这条种。
太平精神同样。
喜欢你就跟了。这条种
我就不喜欢。
喜欢你就跟了。
我就不喜欢。
他也是一样跑2场，跟这个战斗守则海岸一样，都是跑2场，都是在好几个马位之外，身形也算是可以啦，500多的。
上个礼拜出风头了成绩相当好。现在那匹太平帝王是到现在没输过
而且是杀转草都可以
就是否则你本地好像就暂时好像没有看到什么对手了那种味道赢得都很轻松现在。跑1600的，
现在至少有好几匹马都开始有跌票了，不像刚才
人没有号召力，有些是马没有。
文诺还是有他的号召力啦，刚但那匹好儿子本来50多块，就感觉文诺的马匹有点冷，现在已经去20块了。
那你奎洛斯骑这个9号，我们也不敢去想象什么。他干爹就可以，就是这种疑难杂症的。
对呀。
化腐朽为神奇的。
以前莫雷拉就是这样的。疑难杂症的马匹就交给他。
那个年代的时候，一开始也是人家，他怎么去坐享他的招牌的，就是那些马，奎洛斯来发挥，又走大外栏，能做到 那报纸就有东西写，新闻呢、不过没看过，还是不敢想。
等他先出了成绩再说了。
嗯，他今天我觉得应该有最少一个吧。
他今天坐骑太多了。
对啊。
第2天而已。多的坐骑。
我看了后面的那些他的坐骑，其实很难说是哪一匹能做到啊。
他只有刚才第1场没有参赛而已啊，然后就从第2场一直到最后1场。我觉得他下半场的马会更加有机会。我那边开始啊。
对，因为他得赢一批啦，不要太贪心了，你最少赢一批啦。
对呀、加强人家的信心。好了，3分钟。哇，刚刚这边突然间一阵风，
台风边缘嘛。
一阵风刮来。
我们在这个台风的边缘，最边缘的可以说，我们说要到菲律宾都绕着走了，菲律宾就开心了。
到他最后的3分钟，选择方面其实我觉得也就围绕在几匹马的这身上啦。有些人就选国金友啊，像我喜欢国金友啊，我觉得他已经到了不胜不休的阶段。然后呢，有些同事就选绝对顶级，因为上亿，可以说是突入。加上今天呢，可以说是加强了配搭。那在赔率方面呢，7号现在国金友没有像刚才那么热了，一开始是在11块钱，现在镜头所见的黄色彩衣的就是国金友了，它是绝对具备赢马的条件的。一场走势来看，可以说是越来越接近，所以今天增程。就看他的发挥怎么样啦。潘小朗反正之前一直都是选文诺骑，然后改由潘小朗侧骑之后呢，就慢慢有上名的这个记录了。所以现在潘小朗继续的侧骑，他人马之间的配搭也是相当有默契。不过呢，现在后市看起的是好儿子啊，显文诺的马匹从刚才50多块钱，现在已经跟7号的国金友是并驾齐驱，成为这个大热门了，都是17块钱独赢8块钱的位置。好儿子呢就还没有上名过啊，但是今天也是加长了400公尺，来到1600。而且之前他一直是跑新马赛，新马赛碰到的对手当然也相对强一点啦。国金的马匹，国金传承，国金电续哪一匹呢？电话也是一直在响。2号，黑风神，没有太大影响。
好，这个黑风神。黑风神就刚才说刮风嘛，可能就是把它刮走了。真的，现在外面风很大，这个顺风跑对面，逆风跑回来，这个风就是从那个南边那边吹过来的。高兆林又扯平了，本来他拿到多一匹坐骑是替工，可是呢这匹原配坐骑呢就没得骑，但是这个侧骑费还是拿到了啊。 因为他骑到对面了。2号也是有一定的支持度，但是就这样推掉了。现在还没有开始进闸。有一个男的，在那个你看那边坐的那个男人，在那阳光上面，一个唯一的一个人，那个人是一身藏族人的打扮，啊，因为他是那种西服的了，上面是条子啊，然后他就是呢，就看着不是本地的，哪里会特地的坐在那边看的，还穿那么厚，那种背包客来的，然后他的打扮都是那种藏族的尼泊尔的人的那种打扮，啊，我看都热啊，还在吃东西的，坐在那边，哇！会中暑的嘞，他是真的，他可能还觉得别人傻了，他坐在最前面看的。好了，我们来关心一下临场消息啊，这个退赛的消息啊，就是4场2号黑风神已经正式宣布退赛，所有这匹马的投注就被退还了，将被退还。进闸了，啊，目前在闸门外面的就是战斗守则，它是和旧旅这个淡如雨下。那这一场就剩下11匹马了。财星61也进去了。这个好儿子和海岸同时走向闸门了。女人40，这个国金有，好了，也进去了。现在进闸的就是淡如雨下了，骑师已经在闸内了，情绪很不安稳了，现在。不想进闸，推他也不愿意。好，再上来一个人，推他。好了，进去了。啊，后面还有2匹马，达喜，还有这个绝对顶级。好了，1600公尺微夺标马。第4场赛事全体准备，准备，闸门一开，出闸以后先抢出来的就是国金有了，在后面紧追不放的包括了海岸，外侧的位置则有财星61啊，但是呢中间呢也是上来一大群的，包括了3号的淡如雨下，还有太平精神啊，另外呢就有这个蓝白色彩衣的吉祥如意，今天走势也不错啊。一个多马尾以后呢，才看到达喜啊，在他身后紧跟着的是战斗守则守在内侧啊，旁边呢就有女人40以及绝对顶级垫尾的马匹呢，就是女人40了。那现在走在前面控制步速的就是国金有了啊，外侧的位置呢就有海岸卡一个好位啊。在他身后呢，就包括了有这个好儿子啊，还有财星61现在开始提前加速了。在后面呢就有吉祥如意，再来呢就是达喜啊，在后面呢则有绝对顶级啊，太平精神开始落后了啊，越走越慢。那后面呢现在有战斗守则以及女人40啊，都在最后 跟住再跑。现在进入直路阶段了，国金友呢仍然是在控制步速的，不过呢外侧的海岸呢突如其来的今天他已经是开始向国金友发起正式的挑战了。财星61呢是走在里面严重受阻的外侧的位置呢则有达喜还有更外栏的绝对顶级这两匹马的走势更加好很快的就超越了国金友，但是呢还没有决出胜负的。达喜在里面呢是不愿意放弃的，不过呢在绝对顶级的这个压力下，达喜呢未差拿下这场赛事。后面国金友看看有没有一个位置应该是有机会的，然后才是海岸，然后才有财星61，跟住吉祥如意，还有好儿子、女人40、战斗守则太平精神这个淡如雨下呢也是走势一般。格拉利一浪盖一浪他最终不是这个所谓的第一热门就在这个7号跟8号之间呢去争这个热门呢。
但是8号好像都没什么存在感
走位的问题了。
对，不过6号达喜也说了嘛，他之前是在新马赛，一去到这个未夺标马的场从短途然后到1400，然后现在到1600，结果这个1600呢就让他开赛了。
海岸今天是真的进步了。
海岸今天对算是有存在感至少早段的时候一直在斗，跑一个第4名也不错了啦。跑第2的是这个绝对顶级，也是上亿有走势的，然后国金有保住一个第3名财星61第5
对，
在直程有点受阻
里面走位的问题了。也算是正常的赛果了。
我可以接受
1号我们是现场有讲过的，不是说那个跑出来我们都没有发现的马匹。
6号有放在里面的，
有6号
没有把它当成绝对的赢马的机会，因为有对手嘛。
第2梯队，
对，
这么说。
但是你看那两匹第2梯那两匹国金友财星61没有办法跑得真正很好的时候，他就来了。
对，第1梯队就是7跟10，他们双都不行的时候。我没有想到7号今天这么大胆的自己去控制步速了，
后面就有点被马群淹没
他可能这一场他觉得真的没对手，其实不应该这样想。
对，没办法放到完。
6号就是心里觉得绝对顶级是他的对手，所以他就没有一开始想着去在前面去出那个风头好了，跑完就翻篇喽。这一场赛事还是看人、看马，还要看练马师有些练马师呢，真的是很有耐心对达喜我想起来嘛，就是他在那个草地的上面，他把那个小闸门拉去草地，在那边做跳闸的嘛。
好了，达喜49块钱赢出来。第2名的是绝对顶级，我没钱了，味道6块钱了耶。国金有更惨，5块13丁的名次6号、4号。
闸门一开出闸以后先抢出来的就是国金友了。在后面紧追不放的包括了海岸，外侧的位置则有财星61但是呢中间呢也是上来一大群的，包括了3号的淡如雨下，还有太平精神另外呢就有 这个蓝白色彩衣的吉祥如意今天走势也不错啊。一个多马位以后呢，才看到达喜啊，在他身后紧跟着的是战斗守则守在内侧啊，旁边呢就有女人40以及绝对顶级垫尾的马匹呢就是女人40了。那现在走在前面控制步速的就是国金友了啊，外侧的位置呢就有海岸卡一个好位啊，在他身后呢就包括了有这个好儿子啊，还有。财星61现在开始提前加速了，在后面呢就有吉祥如意，再来呢就是达喜啊，在后面呢则有绝对顶级太平精神开始落后了啊，越走越慢。那后面呢现在有战斗守则以及女人40啊，都在最后跟住在跑。现在进入直路阶段了，国金友呢仍然是在控制步速的，不过呢外侧的海岸呢突如其来的啊，今天他已经是开始向国金友发起正式的挑战了。财星61呢是走在里面严重受阻的外侧的位置呢则有达喜啊，还有更外栏的绝对顶级啊，这两匹马的走势更加好啊，很快的就超越了国金友，但是呢还没有决出胜负的。达喜在里面呢是不愿意放弃的，不过呢在绝对顶级的这个压力下，达喜呢未差拿下这场赛事。后面国金友看看有没有一个位置啊，应该是有机会的，然后才是海岸，然后才有财星61，跟住吉祥如意，还有好儿子，女人40，战斗守则太平精神是最后过终点的。另外呢这个
好了，第4场赛事赛果是6号、4号、7号还有1号。距离一个马头1又3/4个马位，一个马头，时间1分36.32秒。6号的达喜独赢49块钱，位置踩19。第2名4号绝对顶级，位置踩6。第3名7号国金友，位置踩5块1。第4名1号的海岸，预测踩4号、6号彩金40， 6号、7号彩金11， 4号、7号彩金7，三重彩6号、4号、7号彩金196，单体彩4号、6号、7号彩金24，四重彩6号、4号、7号、1号彩金6349块钱。看看跑第1名的就是6号达喜抵达终点的照片，他跟绝对顶级只是一个马头的差距。另外呢，跑第3名的则是7号的海岸，也是一个马头的差距。进入今天的第5场赛事了，2点钟开跑第5级第2组1200公尺沙地赛事，奖金3万元。1号人人赢沙里扎加10排位6， 2号神山之光克西纳减4排位3， 3号风暴神驹比5活加3排位1， 4号天使5号衣冠楚楚肖宝慧减14排位5， 6号屠龙勇士穆哈迈加3排位11， 7号火龙卷显文诺减3排位10， 8号钻戒高德发加9排位7。9号财宝富奎洛斯减3排位12， 10号长生动力巫显东减1排位4， 11号黄蜂法130退赛。13号大侠客赛基加6排位8。减1公斤，肖宝慧减3公斤。另外呢，就是穆哈迈减4公斤，高德发则是减1公斤的驮重。另外再看看法伊兹，赛基要加半公斤，所以法伊兹呢就是不能够减。赛基骑的是一匹候补出来的大侠客。好，第一匹要看的就是休息长时间回来的人人赢啊。休息之前的时候呢，他基本上都是在比较长的这个赛程，而且跑法是相当的这个主动啊。看看他休息回来新鲜感之下会有什么表现。
71块，这个才厉害呀！这匹马可能大家都看了上个礼拜的那个试闸了。也是当时是因为下雨嘛，就取消了嘛，就挪到礼拜5了。那个试闸走得相当好的。
今天他说他要走中游的位置啊。
哦，中距离它是这样的，但是短途也是可以这样的嘞。因为中距离它是牵领的。
对，现在短途他就说不要牵领了。
他怕他那个前速不够在短途上。所以他提前报备了。但是这样子反而是他会在这一场赛事里面走的这个位是我想要他这样走的位，就好像刚才那一场那个神鹰战士的那个卡位哦。哎呀，放轻松骑了。你看刚才他紧张，他骑那个财星61，他心里想太多了，他觉得他能赢呢。
结果只跑第5，
一头扎在里面去了。那个马群不给他开门，他又带去外面，你这样，就那一刹那间你就把机会给错失了。又能看得到你榜上有名，这个才叫心里才会。
对呀、如果走位走得好的话，
对，
已经前3名的可能性很高的。
他是自认是能赢马的其中一批了。就是压力太大了。这些呢，就爆冷的时候他会骑得更好。
5号的是衣冠楚楚，今天体重减了14公斤，哎，其实这个是回到了他赢马的体重，哎。
对啊，前2场都已经是超水准了，都是要赢的啦。
小宝会就真的好好把握机会啦，减那3公斤下去对他是蛮有帮助的。
最近他都一直在帮这个练马师的马匹做晨操，他真的很勤劳的。就是没有功劳都有苦劳啊，奖励你一匹赢马的。
8号的是钻戒，钻戒当然赛程是相当的就守本啊，只是近期也是一直跑3344的那种，赢不了。
这匹马衰退的比想象的早啊，3场就成这样了，赢了3场就成这样了。他符合条件可以去到马国的可能，这个是有赢马能力的。
对啊，他衰退归衰退，但不是那种完全不行的。候补出来的大侠客，这匹应该虽然说赢过短途赛啦，但我觉得他已经是去到中距离，而且呢已经在这22分这边几乎躺平了。
是啊。就算看也是到中距离在看的，这个就不存在什么新鲜感的问题了。他现在一点动静都没有。
我今天本来都不用跑的。
没想到啊。
神山之光，这个暂时也还没找到任何的参赛的欲望啊。
越跑越小，越跑越瘦。这匹马。
短途起步过后有试过去1400、1600都不行，又回来的。
他戴不戴眼罩，我觉得都没差别的。
他戴过啊。风暴神驹，这个已经是1200、1400、1600都可以了，这最近都已经去到1600了。今天这个排位，他在中距离是可以领了，但是短途赛也未必了。
换了练马师手法就变了，就好像就现在是不是杀回马枪的感觉啊？100块是很危险的，我就是怕这一类的。我没有选他，但是。这些马匹真的回马枪的话是，
因为都说嘛，手上的马匹都已经超过4匹了。哇，这个天使宝宝，这个宝宝在发脾气。他就赢过一次包大冷，过后真的沉了很久，但是现在他的评分其实都已经在动了。
我记得大赛天使宝宝又是这件彩衣。好了，现在看看屠龙勇士了，4平8稳了。
4平8稳啊，近期的走势就是3分结束。 是3344的那一类吧？
肯定是放在篮子里的。
嗯，
我刚才看他那样子啊，我就
有脾气，这个宝宝有脾气。火龙卷现在就看他联赢的可能性啦。上一反正就是同级同城赛事，同样的骑师。
哦，很奇怪的，你看34块独赢，5块1位置，这个价钱真的是哇不多见呢。
就大家觉得他位置的可能性比较高。
哎，这匹马就是你要就看他赢，要么就不要看位置了。
嗯，
这个位置
上一这样子赢了就加了5分了，
也还好了，没有多加了。
他上次就是打败才保负的。
他能连赢，下面那个等一下后面要连赢的马匹都开心了。
马才保负，其实这一匹10岁马已经很难能可贵了。10岁的高龄在最近都可以赢2场，而且还2次上名。
刚才不是那个老板注意都7岁。
嗯。
啊，邻家梦游都几岁了？邻家梦游不老。嗯。今天看年长马也是有几场都可以看的了。这个长生财保富是可以的。
他真的最近几场啊，就算他上一输，也没有说输得太难看的那一种啊。好了，长胜动力，这个也是近期哇又冷，爆大冷，然后上亿又大热门兑现，忽冷忽热。
超出我能力范围内。
嗯。
祝他好运呢。啊，刚才就有战士。这一场就看长生动力，领放就不用猜了，有他就没有钻戒了，啊，钻戒那种领放就是全场没人跟你认真，你就能抢到领放。但现在长生动力又有票。
好了，那个黄蜂也是沉太久了啦，而且是中距离的马匹。22分
啊，
同样是躺很久。
这个跟大侠客一起打包不要。
对，这2匹都不要。
嗯。这场功课要怎么做呢？就是先把前领马先圈出来。刚才看了长生动力吧，然后屠龙勇士那个位啊，我觉得钻戒。这匹马你不能怪人，这匹马就是这种心态，就是只要人家要动手的时候，他那个前领就不攻自破了。钻戒，除非长生动力拿他当电兔，不太可能的。
都没有其他前领马了，应该就他们了。
然后
因为人已经说不前领了吗？
对，这个是很重要。所以呢，现在火龙卷就看指日可待了啊！这个两连胜啊。
火龙卷是后上的，衣冠楚楚也是可以后追的。
他们2匹马应该是互相防守的。
嗯。
你最简单就是你知道这场你的对手是谁，他会怎么走位，知己知彼嘛。有些场合里面呢，门一开，脑袋变成空白，一片空白，然后就是马拖他回来，啊，就那种就真的没办法了。其实不是简简单单骑在马上就完事了，有很多是体力的，不只是体力的。
对呀，而且出闸的那一刻，如果发现了误闸的问题什么，你还要
意外啊，对，怎么处置？
对，要怎么处置？你不可以愣在那边。反应要很快了，
而且你这个马这个动物啊，它是所有的跟人饲养的动物里面最聪明的，比狗聪明多了。它还有个本事，就是它可以有它的第六感去感知到这个其他的人他的心里面是恐惧还是信心强大、信心爆棚，就带动了他自己了。如果你骑上去，你的心里面就是那种哇都不知道我能不能赢啊，很胆怯的那种。这匹马就被你感染到了，他就跟你一起就在这场里面就哇很衰的那种感觉，衰弱的感觉，他就没有斗志了，是传染给马的。然后如果是你说我今天我要做骑士王，我每一场都骑得很投入，有些马就懒懒散散都被你影响到，他就跑给你看了。
他可以感应到你的情绪，
他真的能感应到。 你的骑功赛又比较扎实，该快就快，该慢就慢。
也会怕，这个骑功不怎么样的。
不是你在上面怎么摇摇晃晃会掉下来嘞？他就跟着你一起紧张啊。所以看人跟马之间
互相影响。
为什么有的人就只去玩那个？
是好是坏都是那个狗本身的素质。
这个这些游戏就是非常好玩的啊。现在简文诺已经是有交代了一场没有空手了。接下来还多着嘞。
赛事现在2匹马，哇，这个赔率是咬得很紧啊。5号的衣冠楚楚，然后还有7号的火龙卷啊，2匹都是21块。
本地的练马师，这2匹马。
现在是见习生杠上了大师傅，肖宝慧斗显文诺。然后呢，就还有4号的天使宝宝，潘小朗哇也进来。这样子这个肖宝慧啊就被2位大师傅围绕。
这场第5集第2组，看这个阵容，看这个形势都不简单了。
对，虽然说是第2组但是我觉得这个第2组还蛮势均力敌的。
你这种编排好，你就不会出现一边倒的大热门。你就这个21块你做不到，人家都甘愿，因为你冲着那个价钱嘛。你
看又多1匹去抢了长胜动力。
对，4匹了现在。4
匹，你看现在20多块钱有4匹
反而这场第5集第2组可以跑完不能看轻它这个的含金量就够了。在第5集来说了，需要骑功的加持，需要马匹性能的还有状态现在的配合，他们赢出来是很不简单的。
对
吧？但是主要实际上是他。
所以如果想要追求好一点的赔率，6号当然可以考虑，它的位置都有20块了。另外1匹刚刚看到也是有票的，就是财宝富啦，但是因为他毕竟是试过他的那2场头马，那2场我觉得已经是很厉害了，因为他第1次爆冷的时候，第2次呢却是热门，而且当时就是打败衣冠楚楚只不过今天第1次用上了奎洛斯看奎洛斯怎么去发挥他的后劲了。因为这场第5集第2组确实不太简单的，但是财宝富算是老当益壮了。最近的这样子6场赛事呢，都已经是2次夺标，2次上名，然后那2次落选的都没有输得太远，证明这匹老马呢，但是还算是维持得很好啦。热门就不鼓励啦，但是有回报价值，那倒还是可以说你喜欢就把它配搭在里面，仅此而已了。因为他试过大热倒灶前一的时候就是输给了火龙卷当时2匹马都是大热门，结果火龙卷是略胜一筹。那现在呢，火龙卷已经去到17块了，追求连赢的。上一个多马位打败财宝富，今天同样的场合，同样的骑师，看看会不会有同样的结果。然后呢，长胜动力突然间也上到24块了。刚才25的现在24，第2热门，跟着呢就是衣冠楚楚，衣冠楚楚反而冷了，刚才10多块的，现在一下子就回冷到26块。 天使宝宝也是维持在这样子28、30块。在这匹在宝马鞍的是谁呀、
火龙卷。
到火龙卷，确保他的马鞍是净的。
对。好，上马了，很快就绑好了。
现在进闸的讯号灯还没亮。
亮了。
哦，已经亮了。
但是没。
好啦，马匹要进闸的应该是还没进转特圈长胜动力。然后这个是天使宝宝。
是钻戒，钻戒进去了，8号。
啊，现在是钻戒准备进。
啊，这个钻戒一开始进闸呢，这一场就陆续的都走向闸门了，火龙卷啊，风暴神区啊，都没问题，走入闸内了。天使宝宝也进去了，现在准备入闸的是屠龙勇士、穆罕迈德坐骑，还有神山之光也是走向闸门了。有一匹要空马入闸的是候补出来的大侠客，长胜动力也进去了。衣冠楚楚。好，进去了。现在入闸的是1号，休息回来的人人赢。啊，最后2匹了，大侠客，还有黄蜂。最后入闸的就是黄蜂。这是今天的第5场赛事，第5集，全体准备，1200公尺。出闸的稍微这个受影响的就是1号的人人赢了啊，马上就是没有跟上这个马群的节奏。现在第一批抢出来的是钻戒，他现在不断的向内切入啊，那旁边呢现在赶上来的马匹呢有4、5匹之多啊，大外栏呢上来的就是屠龙勇士去骚扰他的前速啊，内侧的火龙卷，内侧的位置呢就是刚才慢闸的人人赢了。在后面呢，内侧的位置还有风暴神驹，跟住是黄蜂啊，后面还有中间夹住的是大侠客啊，垫尾的马匹呢则是财宝富啊。现在在进入弯角了，内侧的位置呢钻戒还在尝试挣扎啊，外侧的位置呢就是屠龙勇士啊，穆罕迈的坐骑啊，走的是有板有眼的。在外侧的位置呢现在开始分疆了，还没有用到边啊，不过里面的这个钻戒呢已经是便入雨下了。现在呢穆罕迈才开始下边，后面的追兵赶上来了，但是呢很有机会，这个见习生可能会走脱的，后面的这个肖宝会去追啊，但是可能来不及了。看到这个6号屠龙勇士啊，轻轻松松赢下这场赛事，衣冠楚楚，只能跑一个位置回来。后面呢财宝富还有火龙卷都做不到，也是上名而已啊。后面还有另外是神山之光，跟住是钻戒，还有天使宝宝、风暴神驹、大侠客、黄蜂、长生动力是完全没有存在感的这场赛事，还有财宝富了。正常的赛果。我们在最后还在呼吁这匹马很有机会的，为什么大家不相信呢？他就是没人信，搞到他50多块，他可不管你多少钱呢，该赢他就赢了。
对啊，因为他最近其实已经是看到很多的那个苗头了嘛，都说因为大家都把眼光放在大师傅的身上，就对这个穆罕迈呢感觉好像信心不是太强，但是他就换来了更好的回报价值啊。衣冠楚楚也去追了，追不到啊。
这些都正常的，包括7号、9号啊、8号，就是开路的那一匹，长生动力不去跟他斗，结果自己在哪里？哎呀！
哇，9号也可以跑个第3啊，财宝富都没有滑落的，都还可以上名啊。
我4个号码都有，只是顺序不一样。你看6597，我是7569。就这个小师傅骑这匹，我看他最是有心得的了。作为他个人来说， 没想到是钻戒啊，
还是领得出来。
就是长生动力啦，你要问他为什么今天又不行了，时有时无啊，有的时候无的时候多啊，这个真的是很抓狂的。你觉得今天他有，他就没有给你看，然后你觉得今天不会有的了，话音还没落
就来了，
他就又做到了。这些啊，就是真的一点办法都没有。毕竟我们不是在摆摊算命的，哪里会做那么准的在这方面？
好了，穆罕麦今天就只有这么一匹啊，因为黄金总都退了
，100%哦，
所以就直接100%了。
那就是100%了。
嗯，
恭喜他了。那个1号就是出闸那个人就站起来。
嗯，沙里扎骑马也是真的。
唉，也是看了哇这样的，那你后面还怎么好？当你热身咯这一场。哎呀，今天真的是很混乱的，没感觉嘞，就这样冷，又不是说是爆大冷。
对呀，今天好几场都是这种半冷不热的。
然后
有钱的
第二梯队的
第二梯队的赢出来。
然后赢出来以后呢，我就觉得今天已经过半了嘞。就这样。
因为今天有几场都是那种赢出来的都没有放头的，放他第2、第3选这样。
这种赛事就像那种天气闷热啊，那种感觉很闷的，很沉闷的。好吧，6597，看重播喽。闸门打开啊，出闸呢，稍微这个受影响的就是1号的人赢了啊，马上就是没有跟上这个马群的节奏。现在第一批抢出来的是钻戒，他现在不断的向内切入啊，那旁边呢现在赶上来的马匹呢有4、5匹之多啊。大外栏呢上来的就是屠龙勇士去骚扰他的前速啊，内侧的位置呢则有天使宝宝，旁边是神山之光，然后呢就外侧的位置衣冠楚楚，跟住还有长胜动力，更外栏的是火龙卷，内侧的位置呢就是刚才慢闸的人赢了，在后面呢内侧的位置还有风暴神驹，跟住是黄蜂后面还有中间夹住的是大侠客垫尾的马匹呢则是财宝富现在在进了回来，后面呢财宝富还有火龙卷都做不到，也是上名而已后面还有另外是神山之光，跟住是钻戒，还有天使宝宝、风暴神驹、大侠客黄蜂、长生动力是完全没有存在感的这场赛事，还有财宝富了。正常的赛果，我们在最后还在呼吁这匹马很有机会的，为什么大家？
好了，第5场赛事6号、5号、9号还有7号，距离是1又1/4个马位，3/4个马位，一个马头，一个短马头，时间是1分12.74秒。第2名5号衣冠楚楚，位置踩15；第3名9号财宝富，位置踩15；第4名呢则是7号的火龙卷。 预测彩5号、6号彩金80，未知预测彩5号、6号彩金25， 6号、9号彩金22， 5号、9号彩金21，三重彩6号、5号、9号彩金1560，单贴彩5号、6号、9号彩金145，四重彩6号、5号、9号、7号彩金1795块钱。看看跑第4名的是7号火龙卷抵达终点的照片，它跟8号是相差一个短码头。接下来看看跑第5名开始的就是8号的钻戒，然后有2号神山之光，4号的天使宝宝，1号人人赢，另外有10号长胜动力，3号风暴神驹，然后还有13号的大侠客及11号的黄蜂是最后一匹过终点的。
The track is Ema looking to quad cart into it, and Rocky to his outside, not too far away from the leader. Still King of 61 in front here at a short $9 favourite, but there are a few chances coming, most notably Ema and Nimbus Cloud are looking to get up here and try and challenge this favourite. King of 61, he's a spent force here at the 180. Ema goes on by and gets a half a length to his inside. There was Nimbus Cloud not going away. Rocky running on into a minor place in at any old price, but that was a good ride. Ema goes on and scores.
Here, 911 followed from Glory Shine, God's Gift, and last one is Star Jack as they straighten up into the lane, and Absolute Radiance. Jurek goes for him here on the outside, Livestream being whacked away on the inner, Star Express showing something as well to the inside, Keomani working through, and from the back, Soft Speed and 911 coming with their runs. Look at 911! 911 down the outside's going to make it very interesting. 911, Livestream tight! Oh!
第6场赛事2点30分开跑，第4级1800公尺的草地赛事，奖金5万元。1号斗士简文诺减3排位6， 2号国王61奎洛斯减4排位5， 3号黄金总督退赛， 4号筋斗云科西纳加4排位3。5号东尼之爱沙里扎加2排位4， 6号幸运大师法伊兹加2排位1， 7号星驰郭伟轰471公斤排位2。好了，科西纳金而法伊兹则是减 1.5 公斤的驮重。这场1800公尺的草地赛事。虽然说是第4级的场合，但是参赛马匹是相当的少了。报名之后已经退掉了3匹，然后临场的时候又再退了1匹，现在只剩下6匹马的赛事，所以这一场呢是没有位置预测彩的。好，先来看看第一匹 5号的是东尼之爱，东尼之爱赢过2000公尺的长途赛啊，所以这个气量是不用怀疑了。虽然说他是赢第5级，但是反正这场赛事场合很小啦，也是可以应付的。
哎，看状态就普普通通，没什么缺点，也没什么优点。
这沙里扎真的
是
时有时无了。
马匹本身呢，也不是说很突出了。你看他自己现在是，虽然你看那个马夫一直用这个绳子在逗他嘞，但是好像他现在到了那个午睡的时间的感觉嘞。他很放松，太放松了也不好。你看那个下嘴唇，他一直在咀嚼那个咸铁，这就反映出来他不是一种备战竞赛的状态。
青池之前也是平平稳稳，上一终于在这个第5级的场合，而且是2000公尺迎来的他的第1场头马。
你看这匹的耳朵，那个颈项抬的高度，真的这就是用个少的马匹。跑开窍了以后，我是觉得还可以继续跑，继续赢不动再说。
因为他的气量也是不用怀疑的，反正赢了2000。
彼得斯今天就看这一匹了，多了我也不敢想。关键他还有31块的，1号就弄得没价钱呢。
1号太热。
来吧。
他上一次赢马的时候爆冷的，哇！结果今天这样子11块钱已经是他近期以来最热的一次。当然我不否认他从第2级、第3级下来第4级好像哇就很厉害了，但是也不要这么热吧。
每个人手里肯定都有他，你绕不过的嘛。问题就是这个价钱有没有吸引价值，有没有吸引力的？赢就大家一起开心，不赢啊，哎呀，这个最好跑第2啊。这是不好交代。
国王61。暂时还没有在本地开摘，不过已经有连续几场赛事呢都是榜上有名了。先8是第1次跑了。
就这一场里头，愿意走在前面的参赛马不多。又只有7匹马，现在割掉一个6匹了。他真的走在前面，你们来追啦。
关键是这场赛事真的参赛马太少了，所以什么马都有机会啊。不用去管赔率了。
这一场好像是给一个见习生考试嘞，就是法律兹。
好了，4号的筋斗云就是另外一匹3岁马，他本身也是可以在前面领的啊。他赢马的时候就是在1600公尺一放到底的。我是看他最近在第4级是越跑越有起色了，所以今天会继续的关注他。
肯定吗？我记得好像你是放这匹头选是吧？
对。
我是放7号头选，就我们2个都看3岁。
都看年轻的。
反正过2天就4岁了，这样想嘛啊？不是，如果是今天已经是8月了，这2匹4岁，你们是不是没有这么担心，对吧？就是你们看3岁，你们觉得跑2000太早，不会的，这个1800、2000这些只要验证过了能行就可以的。当然他们共同的对手就是1号啦。
1号就仗着有这个高班级的经验嘛。
6.5岁啊，已经可以这样跟你说，6.5岁啊。
可是如果你说，
听歌了。